fellow dental colleagues, fellow aligner providers, and well wishers, thank you for tuning in. At the end of this lockdown period, we're gonna have to decide who is going to show us the leadership and the vision that will allow us to slowly taper in a COVID-friendly workflow so that we can start to clinically resurrect our businesses. Along with this video, I'm attaching a workflow that I have created specifically for aligners. I'm sorry if you do other forms of dentistry, but my only experience of dentistry at this point in time is aligners. I no longer do routine dentistry. The reason why I wish to talk about aligners is whether you provide implants or you're restorative or whatever, we all have the ability to learn aligner therapy. There are online courses. There are very easy low entry points for us to engage in aligners. Aligner therapy is one of the COVID-friendly treatments out there because of the minimal or zero use of aerosols, the fact that it can be done remotely, the fact that we can minimize the number of visits. There is a receptive marketplace to this, and it's an amazing opportunity for us to get the cogs of our business turning. The understandable concerns relate to not the marketing, not the communication, relates to how are we going to take impressions or take a scan or take photographs, and when they're going to be safe. That is something we're going to have to come to as a body and have a consensus as to when is that safe time. Having got to a point where we've now been able to get all the information that we need to commence aligner treatment, the consent or the ClinCheck process, so to speak, can be done virtually online. So yet again, very COVID friendly. What we are advocating within the document is we go to a contactless insertion process. So the first two or perhaps the first three aligners have no attachments or IP or anything needed. It's literally just collect and fit. When I say contactless, that means we want to keep our distance. So creating a protocol that allows us to be able to supervise the insertion of the aligners without having to go too close to someone. Wearing these aligners for, let's say 3 aligners for 2 weeks buys us 6 weeks. So we can defer any need for IPR and attachments to 6 weeks down the road. So in terms of the cycle, you can now see from the time the scan was taken to the ClinCheck to when things are fitted, it's probably already 8 weeks. Having bought some time, we now reach a critical point, let's say in the cycle, where we're going to have to decide when is it now safe to do attachments. Attachments will be done under rubber dam with a self-etch primer with, let's say, a composite that's either easy to clean up or a hybrid semi-flowable kind of composite, which means there's not too much scatter and splatter of that composite so that we don't have to use aerosols. What we're going to have to do is to come together and find a safe way in which this can be done. Are we going to use Clinisept? Are we going to use Peroxyl? What are we going to do to help disinfect and mitigate and minimize risk? Because if we can work together as a collective and workshop or brainstorm innovative ways in which we can proposition and change how we plan and execute treatment, I think there's an incredible opportunity for us to be able to provide aligner therapy in this transition period. Once we've got into the insertion or the IPR, we're then able to provide some kind of monitoring, which we had discussed before, which means literally you give someone a box of 20 aligners, off you go, and then every week there's some form of communication, either through messaging or something, which makes life really easy. What I've tried to do is to instill the essence of why I believe right now aligner therapy is going to be the best way to get the cogs of our practice going so we can mitigate the risk of problems within the business as we transition and taper back to normality. The unknowns for us are all related to when will it be safe for us to scan and photograph these patients. How do we do that? That's why I'm asking you guys, let's share information, figure out how we can do that. Contactless insertion, we can discuss different things that we're doing so that that is landed. How do we hold them in for 6 weeks, let's say, with no RPO attachments? That's a game changer. but at some point there will be a discussion of when is it going to be safe to you to place attachments or do IPR. IPR with the strips, nowhere else was done. How are we going to mitigate the risk of placing attachments under rubber dam using a self-etch prime and bond with a semi-flowable composite? If we can come together, troubleshoot, see the problems, and come up with innovative ways, I think there's an incredible opportunity for us to all band together and to keep things going. So guys, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate your time. Have a great day. Bye.